This is lesson 4-6B from the Algebra Readiness textbook. For today's lesson, you'll want your notes packet and a sharpened pencil. To begin, I would like to start with a review problem that's not in your review packet. We have a test coming up on chapter 4 in a couple days, and so let's review a couple of skills we've already learned. 8m to the fourth n to the second over 40mn, and we are asked to simplify. So we are going to simplify the fraction. The greatest common factor between 8 and 40 is 8. 8 divided by 8 is 1. 40 divided by 8 is 5. Then, so we've got 1, and then remember, let's write this out, 4 m's, and then 2 n's, and then in the denominator, we've got 5, and we've got 1 m and 1 n. Let me change the color. Here we go. And I see that m divided by m is 1, and n divided by n is 1. And so what we have left is 1 times m times m times m times n. So m to the third n. And in the denominator, all we have left is 5. In the second problem, it asks us to find the greatest common factor. To find the greatest common factor, we do a factor tree of each of the numbers, and I get 2 times 7. These are both prime, so I circle them. Then I write these exponents out in expanded form. I do the same for 21. Let's do that in a different color so it's obvious which one we're talking about. 3 times 7. 3 is prime. 7 is prime, so I have 3 times 7. Then I'm going to write the variables in expanded form. Now, I write for the greatest common factor what they have in common. Do they have a 2 in common? Nope. Do they have a 7 in common? Sure they do. Do they have an A in common? Looks like they do. They don't, however, have a second A. Now let's look at the B's. It looks like they have 2 B's in common. And they don't have a 3 in common because it's only in one list. 7ab squared. There we go. Okay, so today's learning target, we are going to solve rational number problems using substitution. Remember that when you're substituting a negative number, you always need to put parentheses around that negative number. Evaluate the following expressions for a equals 6 and b equals -5, and then write the answer in simplest form. Now I see that a equals 6, so anywhere there's an a, I'm going to put a 6. And anywhere that there's a b, I'm going to insert -5, and my -5 will always be in parentheses. All over -3. Now I'm going to simplify this. 6 plus -5 is 1 over -3. That's already in simplest form. Looks like we're done. Let's try another one. 7 minus b is -5. See where that putting parentheses around is helpful here? All over, now 3 next to a means 3 times a. And now I'm ready to solve. Subtracting is the same as adding the opposite or super plus sign, some of you like to say. So we get 12 over 6 times 3 is 18. 12 over 18 is not in simplest form, so you're going to treat that as the fraction it is, and you are going to simplify by dividing by the greatest common factor. In this case, 6 over 6. And I get 2/3. Positive 2/3. All right, one last one we're going to try is 6 plus 9 all over -5. When I reduce the numerator, 6 plus 9, I get, or simplify it, I should say, I get 15 over -5. 15 divided by -5 is -3. All right, I think you're ready to give some of these a try on your own. Let's try this one. It's the next box in your notes. In fact, Why don't you give the next 3 a try? These 2 and this 1 that are in your notes. Then we'll go over them together. So pause the video and come on back. All right, I hope you're ready to compare your answers to mine. I rewrote this equation, or this expression, as 2 times 6 times 2 minus 7, all in parentheses in the numerator. In the denominator, I wrote a 10. I use the order of operations inside of those parentheses, and I do the parentheses first because you always follow the order of operations. Parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division from left to right, add or subtract from left to right. So I'm up here at parentheses. 6 times 2 is 12. 12 minus 7 is 5. There weren't any exponents, then I had to multiply. Now I have to go back and finish my multiplying, and I get 10 divided by 10, which is 1. In this one, I would rewrite the expression to read 3 times 9 minus 8 all over 60. Again, solving within the parentheses first. 27 minus 8 is 19. 19 times 3 is 57. Now, I'm going to use my divisibility rules to see that 5 plus 7 is 12, so I know that that's divisible by 3. So I'm going to divide both the numerator and the denominator by 3, and then see if I can do more from there. And I get 19/20. That looks pretty simplified to me. All right, the last one. Again, I see that this x value is negative. So when I put that in or substitute it in for x, I will include parentheses around it. -2 minus 5 is the same as -2 plus -5, which gives me -7 over -21. Now when I reduce that, I'm going to divide this by -7 over -7 because there is a negative in the numerator and in the denominator. -7 divided by -7 is 1. -21 divided by -7 is 3. So positive 1/3. All right, we're getting to the home stretch here. Let's try just this last 2, and then we'll let you get started on that homework. Pause the video and come on back when you're ready to compare your answers to mine. All right, this one says m is 6 and negative n would be -7. So -6/7. This is simplified. You could have written it again as -6/7 like this. That would mean the same thing. The next one, 6 all over 6 squared plus 4. Remember, you need to simplify your exponent first, and you get 36 plus 4. Then this fraction bar acts as a grouping symbol, so I need to finish the denominator, simplifying the denominator, before I can reduce anything else. 36 plus 4 is 40. The greatest common factor between 6 and 40 is probably 2. And I get 3/20. All right, let's give the homework a try. The worksheet for 6B can be found in your notes packet.